I always thought I'd be the last guy to find himself in a situation like this, but here I am, sharing my story with the world. Maybe this will help someone else. Maybe it's just therapy for me. Either way, buckle up, this is going to be a long one. Emma and I met about 7 years ago at a mutual friend's party. She was smart, beautiful, and had this magnetic personality that pulled me in right from the start. We clicked instantly and soon became inseparable. Our relationship moved fast. Within 2 years, we were married. Friends, family, everyone around us saw us as the perfect couple, great jobs, a beautiful home, fun vacations. To everyone else, it seemed like we were living the dream. But behind closed doors, things weren't as flawless as they seemed. Like many couples, we hit rough patches. Emma became more distant, often shutting me out emotionally. I put it down to work stress or her feeling overwhelmed, especially after she quit her job to find herself. At the time, I was supportive, thinking it was a phase. How naive I was. I still remember that day as if it happened 5 minutes ago. I planned to surprise Emma by coming home early from work. Things had been tense between us, and I thought maybe a romantic dinner and some time together could help rekindle what we had lost. In my head, it seemed like a sweet gesture. In reality, it was a trap that would catch her red-handed. I walked into our house expecting to find her lounging around, maybe reading or watching TV. Instead, the place was eerily quiet, too quiet. Her car was in the driveway, so I knew she was home, but there wasn't a single sound to indicate life inside. I shrugged it off, thinking maybe she was napping or in the shower. But as I climbed the stairs, I started hearing muffled voices coming from our bedroom. At first, I couldn't quite make out what they were saying, but as I got closer, it became clear that I wasn't hearing just one voice, I was hearing two. My stomach twisted, and a cold realization washed over me. I slammed the door open. There she was in our bed with some random guy tangled in the sheets, frozen in shock. You always imagine that in a moment like that, you'd explode with rage, but that's not what happened. I felt eerily calm, like the world had slowed down just for me. I didn't need to ask questions or demand explanations. The scene in front of me was all the answer I needed. Emma started to sputter excuses, her face white as a sheet. The guy, he just sat there too scared to move. I didn't say much what was there to say, really. I just stood there for a moment, letting them sweat. Then, in the most casual tone I could muster, I told her, "You've got until the end of the day to get your things and leave. I don't want to see you here when I get back." I turned to the guy and added, "And you get out now before I do something I'll regret." He didn't need to be told twice. He scrambled out of the bed, pulling his clothes on as quickly as he could. I watched him run out of the house like a scared dog, and I couldn't help but feel a little amused by how pathetic he looked. Once the guy was gone, Emma fell apart. She started crying, begging me to listen, saying it wasn't what it looked like, even though it clearly was. But I wasn't interested in hearing her excuses. I told her again, calmly but firmly, to pack her things and be gone by the time I came back. Then I left the house. Now, here's where most people would start plotting some elaborate revenge plan. You hear stories about guys who spend weeks, even months, planning to get back at their cheating wives. But I wasn't interested in dragging this out. I didn't want to waste any more of my energy on her than I had to. My goal was simple: cut her out of my life and make sure she couldn't take anything from me. Fortunately, I had prepared for this moment, even if I didn't realize it at the time. Months earlier, things between us had already started to feel off. Call it intuition, but I had a feeling something wasn't right. We were arguing more, she was more secretive with her phone, and there were random nights where she claimed she was going out with friends, but wouldn't come home until late. So I had quietly started preparing. I went to a lawyer, filed for divorce in advance, and had a solid prenup in place. As soon as I left the house, I called my lawyer and told him to finalize the paperwork. Everything was set, all I had to do was sign, and it was done. No drawn-out court battles, no arguing over assets. Emma had no idea, but I had frozen all our joint accounts months before. She wouldn't see a dime of the money we had saved together. The house was in my name too, so she couldn't claim that either. The real satisfaction didn't come from watching her suffer directly. It came from watching her life fall apart, piece by piece, without me lifting a finger. First, I told all of our mutual friends about what she had done. I wasn't looking for sympathy, I just didn't want to lie or cover for her. To my surprise, most of our friends sided with me. Emma had alienated a lot of them over the years with her self-centered behavior, so when they heard what happened, she lost almost all her social support overnight. Then I paid a little visit to the guy she was sleeping with. I didn't need to threaten him physically. Violence wasn't my style. But I did find out where he worked, and I made sure his boss found out about his extracurricular activities. Turns out his company had a strict moral code, and sleeping with a married woman didn't sit well with them. He was fired within the week. Meanwhile, Emma had no money, no house, and almost no friends left. She tried calling me, texting me, begging for another chance, but I blocked her on everything. There was nothing left to say. She made her bed literally, and now she had to lie in it alone. The divorce was finalized faster than I expected, thanks to all the preparations I had made. Emma tried to fight it, but she had no leverage. With the prenup in place, she walked away with nothing but the clothes she packed the day I caught her. She bounced between friends' couches for a while, but eventually even they got tired of her. As for me, I'm in a much better place now. I found a new apartment, a better job, and I've been enjoying my freedom. No more walking on eggshells, no more worrying about what my wife is doing behind my back. I've reconnected with old friends, started traveling again, and even met someone new. Life is good. Looking back, I don't regret a thing. I didn't need to scream, shout, or plan some elaborate revenge. All I did was let the truth come out, and the consequences took care of themselves. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about what you do, it's about what you don't do. So for anyone reading this who's been through something similar, my advice is simple. Don't waste your energy on someone who doesn't deserve it. Walk away, cut them out, and let the chips fall where they may. Trust me, it's a lot more satisfying than anything you could plan. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this story and found it insightful or inspiring, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new one. Remember, in any challenging situation, staying true to yourself and making smart decisions is key. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know how you would handle a similar situation. See you in the next video.